recording. Hello, class. How are you guys today?
Hey, Mr. Duran.
Hey, Mr. Duran, it's going great.
Good. Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. All right, guys. So you guys ready for our webinar?
I've been ready for this for weeks, man.
All right. Sounds good, guys. All right. So did you guys read what I was gonna talk to you guys about, or do I have to remind you guys what's going on today?
Can you give us a quick reminder?
All right. All right. So we're gonna review the court case of Brown versus the Board of Education. All right.
Oh, good. Okay.
Okay.
That one?
Huh?
That one?
Yeah, that one. So, guys, while I'm speaking, I want you guys, you guys don't have to be looking all the time. You can look down. I know you guys are taking notes, not on your phones.
Okay.
Because, and I want you guys thinking about, over the lesson, I want you guys thinking about why this is important to our history and what group of people is this most important to during the time that this happens, all right?
Yes, sir.
All right, got it. Okay. So, we're gonna talk about a little bit about Brown versus the Board of Education, Topeka, Kansas. But before we learn about that, we're gonna have to talk a little bit about a court case that happened before us called Plessy versus Ferguson.
Ooh, I know that one.
Yeah. See, so we'll just go we'll do a little review over it, okay? So Plessy versus Ferguson, it happened in 1896. The Supreme Court ruled that it was constitutional for white people and people of color to have separate public facilities, but they said that they would be equal. So if you ever heard the term separate but equal, that's where this came from.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it was. You're right, Brady. It wasn't, right? And they knew back then that it wasn't, and we know now from just looking back history that it wasn't at all even. Okay, so we're gonna start off with who. So who was involved? So Linda Brown is the little girl involved, and her father, Oliver Brown, he's the one who actually files for the court case. We'll talk about that a little bit later. And then the other party involved is the Board of Education, Topeka, Kansas. Okay. So what happened? So the big issue here was that Linda Brown was denied admission to the school that was closest to her because, you okay there, Brady? Pay attention, kids. Okay, so Linda Brown was denied admission to the school closest to her, and Oliver Brown, her father, felt that this was unfair and that they were being discriminated against. So he decided to take the board to court. Okay, Josh, you with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So when did this happen? So the case was filed.
1896.
No, you're about 40 years off.
Oh.
1952.
Oh, that was way off.
Yeah, and the decision, that's why you need to study your notes.
All right.
The decision was reached in 1954, okay? We won't talk about the decision until, after. So where was it? Like I said, Topeka, Kansas, the school board education. So so why did this happen? So like I said, this happened because of Plessy versus Ferguson court case ruling. Because that happened, Linda Brown was required to go to a colored school, and even though this white school, which was in her district and it was a lot closer to her, even though that one was a lot closer to her, she was still required to go to the colored school because she wasn't white, and so therefore, the colored school was miles farther from her house than the actual closest school to her, which was that white school. So. That's why this happened, because she was denied admission to the school. So let's talk about why does it matter. So you guys know what the 14th Amendment is, or what it does?
No, I have no idea.
It gives black people the right to vote.
No. It. Come on, guys.
I thought it was that.
Have you not been paying attention at all?
My bad. My notes. I messed up my notes.
Oh, okay. That's all right. We'll go over it right now. Okay, so the 14th Amendment.
I misread my notes.
Oh, it's all good, Brady. It's all good. You're one of my best.
Okay.
So the 14th Amendment grants all Americans the right to equal protection, and an extension of that is the right to an equal education. So when Mr. Brown took the school board to court, this is what his argument was, that it was a violation of the 14th Amendment. Okay, so let's talk about a little bit about the schools and why this was such a big issue. Like you guys said, you guys knew that it wasn't equal; it was separate. It wasn't equal. So let's talk about some of the differences. So one of the big differences is a lot of the colored schools. The schools were run down. They were in neighborhoods that were not as wealthy. A lot of these kids were not as privileged. They had less opportunities, like I said, because the money wasn't there. And
what about the resources they had?
That's a good question, Brady. That's a really good question. So the resources, so the materials, a lot of materials that they had, they were secondhand books, books that the white schools, they didn't need anymore. They were old books, so they weren't up to date material. Like in the classrooms, oftentimes they wouldn't have enough desks for the kids. And also, like I said, they had old books, and sometimes they didn't have enough of them, so kids would have to share books. And there were not enough teachers also to teach all the kids there. So it was a big issue. They were really at a big disadvantage there in comparison to the white schools.
Thanks, Mr. Duran.
Yeah, of course, no problem. I love to clear things up. The fact that makes me feel a lot better.
Thanks.
All right. So what do you guys think is going to happen with this court case? What do you guys think is going to happen?
I think they're going to dismiss the court case.
You think they're going to dismiss it? Why do you think they're going to dismiss it, Josh?
I don't know. Separate but equal, but that's not right.
May I chip in?
Yes. Go ahead, Brady.
Along the lines of what Josh was saying, they could dismiss it simply because there was no one that was kind of like reprimanding them. Like there was no Martin Luther King yet. There was no Malcolm X yet.
It's true. That's true.
It's not that.
Well, what do you think it is, Josh?
I think that it's because it's during segregation, right?
Yeah, they were segregated. Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, segregation, then that would mean they would dismiss the case, right?
I mean, yeah, but like we said,
that.
Yeah, like exactly.
Nice.
Like Brady said, they weren't equal. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. All right.
Okay.
So the outcome. So at first, Mr. Brown took this to the federal district court, and his case was dismissed. They said that the segregated public schools were equal enough, and that there was no reason to change anything. There wasn't it wasn't that big of a difference. So Mr. Brown decided to take this case. This case ended up getting to the Supreme Court. And on May 17th, 1954, the Supreme Court ruled and reached a unanimous decision to end segregation of schools and overrule Plessy versus Ferguson. So yes, it's a good thing. That's a good thing. So yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
So the Little Rock Nine, right?
Yes. This happened. The Little Rock Nine happened after.
Was it just directly after this happened?
Yeah, because that's when they were deciding. They brought the 9 kids, and this was when they first decided to try to integrate the kids, and this was kind of like a test to see how it would work. And
they obviously didn't pass the test.
Yeah.
They had to get the National Guard in.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So you have been reading. That's good.
I read that part. Yeah.
Good. So, Josh, I expect you to be on par with Brady in the next one.
So did you? I'm kind of lost for a second.
Okay, what's up?
So you did say that they dismissed the case, right?
At first, they dismissed the case in the federal district court. So they decided to take it one step, or they decided to take it higher. So they took it all to the Supreme Court.
I have another question.
Yes.
So if they dismissed it in the first case, wouldn't that make sense that Mr. Brown lost the case?
Yeah, but you can always sometimes you can take the case further if like you have, it depends how far you want to take it. So you can take it a little bit farther if they dismiss it on one level, sometimes they'll take it farther to see, they take it to the next level to see if they say something different. So that's what they did, and they took it to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court, they overruled Plessy versus Ferguson. It was a unanimous decision. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sometimes if it doesn't work out the first time, you keep pushing, and then maybe you'll get to where you want to be. So,
yeah. Persistence.
Exactly.
So
All right.
You said that the Supreme Court, their decision was.
It was unanimous.
It was unanimous.
So that means everybody said that it was not constitutional.
Yes. Josh, you write that down in your notes?
Oh yes, I'm making mental notes and then writing them down.
I have that in mind.
So I got my
decision, unconstitutional.
All right, but I need to ask my question.
Yes.
So they combined the schools, and then everything was good after that?
No, like I said, or like Brady mentioned, the Little Rock Nine. That was like their first test to see how integrating the students would go, and it was rough at first, because a lot of the times they were picked on and bullied and made fun of, and some of the kids didn't want them there.
And Ruby Bridges was that one of the experiments, or?
Ruby Bridges?
Yeah.
What experiments?
You said the Little Rock Nine, so it wasn't Ruby Bridges?
Was she one of the Little Rock Nine? Is that what you're asking?
No. I'm saying, wasn't that
No, it's not that.
Josh, you need to be more clear with your questions.
Yeah, Ruby Bridges.
Yes, Ruby Bridges. What about her?
She was also like the Little Rock Nine. Isn't that true? I'm just stating the example.
Josh, can you please calm down for me?
Yeah, she was one of the first. She was one of the first black children to attend an all-white elementary school. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was to help desegregate the schools.
Yeah, they were integrating schools. Yes.
Yes, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you just need to be a little bit clear with your questions. I thought you were asking her. She was asking if she.
Christian, I was a little confused by that too. He just kept repeating the name Julia Bridges.
Yeah.
So, I was kind of confused with that.
Ruby Bridges.
Ruby Bridges.
Yeah.
That's what he said. Yeah.
All right, guys. So, I think that's all we have for today.
Mr. Duran.
Yeah. What's up? What's up, Josh?
We're done already?
No, yeah, I know.
Oh, man.
I know you
Such
guys.
a good history lesson.
Yeah, I know you guys enjoyed it.
What are you going to learn about next time?
Next time, we're going to go a little bit more, and we're going to learn about the Little Rock Nine.
Ooh.
I know you know something about that, Brady. So
Yep. I read ahead.
Exactly.
And I know Ruby Bridges.
So maybe we'll discuss that in class 2 next time.
Oh, I can't wait.
All right, guys. So for when we get back to class, I want you guys, after I know you guys have been taking notes. So when we get back to class, I want you guys to have your notes out, and we're going to discuss what we learned. How is this important? Like I said, and who it impacted the most. So if you guys could answer me that one question, the last one maybe, just so we have a little, getting
Who it impacted the most?
Yeah, who do you guys think it impacted the most?
Okay.
What group of people?
African Americans.
Ding, ding, ding. We have one. Well, not just African Americans, but all colored people as well.
I concur.
I'm glad you agree, Josh. All right, guys. Thanks for taking the time to actually do this with me. I know you guys are some of my best students, so I'm sure that this has been beneficial for you guys, and I'll see you in class next time.
Do we get extra credit?
No, not for this.
Oh man.
All right, guys. See you later.
All right. See ya.
See ya.